Hi, all you music lovers out there. It's Andy Rodriguez, also known as the Blackspinner, with the 11th episode of my record collection, which I am going through in alphabetical order and in chronological order. And if you're new to our channel, I've been collecting records for over 20 years now. Well, more than 20 years. And I really enjoy it, and I thought that I would like to share it with everyone else. And it's really cool for me to be going through all my records, because I'm also listening to the stuff that I haven't heard in a while. So it's pretty good for me as well. And if you didn't see the last two episodes featured two artists on each episode. One was Deep Purple, the other one was Bob Dylan. And so we're going back to the letter E and F. I'll be able to squeeze in both letters in the one episode. So, have a seat, check it out, and I hope that you enjoy my record collection, E's through the F's. Now, let's get started. The E, Eagles. This record here is Desperado. There we go, Desperado, which was their second album, and the songs on here are pretty good. This was a pretty good album, and I really enjoyed this one. This one had a more of a Old West kind of flavor to it. I don't want to say it was a concept album, but the feel of it. The standout songs on here were Duel and Dalton, 21, Out of Control, Tequila Sunrise, which is one of my favorite songs by them. I like Tequila Sunrise a lot. And Desperado, and all that was side one. Side 1 is fantastic. Side 2 is okay, but what saves side 2 is a song called Saturday Night. I love that song. It's such a great song. And I'll tell you why I like that song so much when I get later on down into their discography here. And I liked this album. What I liked about this one in particular is what I like the most about the Eagles. I like it more when they're a little bit more balladry, or, when they sing a little bit, their ballads. I like their ballads very much. And when they get a little bit heavy, they seem to be out of their range. The next album I have by them are Eagles on the Border. Right there. The songs on here, Already Gone. You see, and Already Gone is not a ballad. It's a pretty good rocker, but it's in a Eagles kind of flair to it. I mean, there's no other band like the Eagles. They've got their own sound, and they do very well. On the Border, the title track was good. James Dean and The Best of My Love. Now, I do have to admit that On the Border was just an okay album, but there were still 4 songs on here that were really good, and it closed with The Best of My Love, and I really like that song. Just the harmonies on that album, on that song, is fantastic. And the next album I have by them, this is great. One of These Nights. The title track, One of These Nights, is so good. I really do like that song. It's a little dark here. Let me see here. Too Many Hands was a good song. Journey of the Sorcerer, I think, is a instrumental, which is a little odd for them. And side 2 starts out with Lion Eyes. Lion Eyes has this country flavor to it that tells a story, and it's really good. I like it. Take It to the Limit was another good song for them. And After the Thrill Is Gone. This is a pretty good album. I liked it. And next is one of the best-selling greatest hits albums of all time. This sold millions upon millions upon millions of records. And it is just what it says. It's their greatest hits between this era. For the first 4 albums are on here. And it's all the hits. Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Lion Eyes, Already Gone, Desperado, One of These Nights, Tequila Sunrise, Take It to the Limit. Peaceful Easy Feeling is a really good song. I like Peaceful Easy Feeling. And Best of My Love closes it out. And then after that, they came out with their best known album, of course, Hotel California. And just to let you know that Hotel California is more than just the title song of Hotel California. This is in my top 10 albums of all time. I love this album. From beginning to end, it is solid. It starts off with Hotel California. I think there's a paper gatefold in there. Yeah, look, that's pretty neat. It starts off with Hotel California, and it goes into New Kid in Town, and then it goes in and New Kid in Town. It's so funny about that song. I used to live in apartments. The first apartments my wife and I lived in, and out there in the parking lot, this guy that lived underneath us would play that song almost every day for a while, and not just one time. He would sing to New Kid in Town over and over and over. It got a little tiring, but I still love the song when I hear it in my own, when I want to hear it. And then that goes to Life in the Fast Lane, and then Wasted Time, which is a beautiful ballad. And then from there, that's side one. Side two, it starts off great with called a song called Victim of Love. And after that, another beautiful ballad. This one's sung by Joe Walsh. And in fact, this was the first album that they did with Joe Walsh. And that is Pretty Maids All in a Row. It starts off with a fade in and then a fade out at the end. And it's fantastic. And what was that other song? I forgot what that other song was. The one after that one. There's the paper insert, which is a little generic for such a great album like this. Victim of Love. Oh, Try and Love Again, which is, I love the song, but it wasn't a big hit or anything like that. But it's a great deep track. But the way that this album ends on a song called The Last Resort, sung by Don Henley, it's just an epic song, and it talks about the plight. The flight of the Indians, the Native Americans, of when the white man came in, and there was a fight for a struggle of land, and it tells a story, and it's a really good song. It's a climactic song. It really is. And of course, the next album was going to come out, and after such a great album like Hotel California, how were they going to top it? How can they top it? And when the Eagles' The Long Run came out, it was considered a flop, or maybe not a flop, but not as good. But how could it be? There's the guys there. There's the inside of it. But let me read you these songs, because it's a great album. The Long Run, I Can't Tell You Why. In the City, another great Joe Walsh song that should have been on Joe Walsh's But Seriously Folks, which I'll talk about later. But the Eagles didn't have enough songs, so they persuaded him to put it on here. If he had put it on his own album, But Seriously Folks, which is already a great album, that would have just pushed it to the top, because it's a great song, In the City. And then on side two, Heartache Tonight. These Shoes, it's a great song. And there's a song on here that I find disappointing, The Sad Cafe. I really enjoy, like I say, Eagle ballads, because I think they're fantastic at them. But that song, I try to love it every time, and it just goes nowhere for me. And then after that, they did break up, but they did release, of course, a double live album. There's the inside of it. And my mom used to have this on 8-track. And when I was like in junior high, and you get home and your parents are still at work, I would crank it. And I would throw this on, and that's where I first heard Saturday Night. And it's a great song, but let me read you what's on this double live album, because it's Hotel California, Heartache Tonight, I Can't Tell You Why, The Long Run, New Kid in Town, Life's Been Good, which was a Joe Walsh solo song. Life's Been Good, Seven Bridges Road, which is a great harmonic song from the guys. Wasted Time, Take It to the Limit, Desperado, Saturday Night, All Night Long, which is another Joe Walsh song. And then that went into Life of the Fast Lane and Take It Easy. But yeah, this is really good album. And then from that, that concludes my Eagles. But then I was at Half Price Books probably about maybe I found this about 7 months ago, and for $2, I used to have this when I was a kid on cassette. Well, not a kid, but in junior high. And I believe this is my first rap album that I'm going to talk about, because like y'all have seen, I've gone through a lot of rock, mainly. Easy Does It. This is a fantastic album. I really enjoyed it. It starts off with the clean side, which is called radio side, and then the street side. The radio side is We Want Easy, Easier Said Than Done. I'm on the radio, and No More Questions. Side 2, which is the street side, Still Talking, Nobody Move, Nobody Get Hurt. And Boys in the Hood, of course. If you follow Eazy-E at all, this might be like the third time that song has been remixed or appeared. First it came out on NWA and the Posse, then NWA started at Compton, and then again on here. And it's a good song. And then they named a movie after it, but which has nothing to do with the songs. I mean, I can't connect it. And Easy Does It. So this is a great album. If you want to stream it, this is, I mean, it does sound late 80s, but it was ahead of its time at the time. And it's still good. Enjoy it. And I need to get more stuff by this band. I only have this one greatest hits, because sometimes it's kind of hard to find their stuff on vinyl at the stores. ELO's greatest hits. I like this band. I saw them not too long ago when they came to Houston. We got free tickets, and as I mentioned during the D's, we saw them with the band Dawes. This is, like I said, their greatest hits: Evil Woman, Living Thing, Can't Get Out of My Head, Showdown, Turn to Stone. I Turn to Stone. And one of my favorite songs by them is on side 2, Telephone Line. Such a great ballad. And Strange Magic, of course, and Mr. Blue Sky is their epic song with the orchestra going crazy and the vocals going nuts. Slow it down and bring it back up. Love it. Now, this is a band that I'm going to talk about next that I've just recently gotten into. So I don't know that much about them. I know that when I hear this band, I like them. I got into prog probably about 7 or 10 years ago, and I really enjoy prog. I think it's a fantastic type of music, especially for music lovers that just want the songs to keep going on and on and on, and done by great musicians. So I'm talking about one of the best ones out there, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Like I said, I'm just starting to get into this band. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I know all this and I know that. No. Because a lot of their songs are instrumental. So I really don't know that much to say, oh, this song, this song, this song. But I know that when I throw it on, I love it. But this does have a hit song, Lucky Man, which is played on the radio quite a bit still. And what else was here that might have... Take a Pebble, the second song on here. It's a 12-minute song, so that probably did stick out to me. And the next one that I've had this one for maybe a little over a year. This is the one I've been hearing the most of, Tarkus. I found this one to be their heaviest of all their music. And here's the inside of it. I gotta figure something out where the light doesn't interfere with it. And next, I believe this is a live album. I'm not too sure. But this is Pictures at the Exhibition, which is one of their famous ones. And I know that The Gnome was a big hit that I really enjoyed very much. And let me see your Pictures at the Exhibition. I think this is a live album. There's the album. It's pretty cool. I like it. And next we have Trilogy by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I know I've got quite a bit of Emerson, Lake and Palmer already, and of course I've heard them all at least 3 times, but their music just needs so much attention. It really does, because it's so good, and you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of it. And this is a triple, can you say that? A triple live album by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's called, what was it again? Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. And this is really cool because it opens into a 3-piece gatefold. That's pretty neat. ELP. And all the albums are on there. There's the back of it. So this is the live album. And this has Tarkus on it. And like I had said before, I love that song. Karn Evil 9. So yeah, this is really good. For people that are just starting, that are interested in prog, because y'all have heard about prog music, Emerson, Lake and Palmer is a fantastic example of it. And next we have a band out of England with a lead singer by the name of Rod Stewart and Ron Wood as the guitar player. Faces. A nod is as good as a wink to a blind horse. There's the back of it. There's the guys. In some kind of claymation or doll form. The songs on here, Miss Judy's Farm. Stay With Me was a big hit for them. Stay With Me. Debris was pretty good. Memphis is a song by Chuck Berry, which seems to be remade by a lot of rock artists. But they do turn that song into a 5.5-minute song, so it's got an extended solo on there. And here we have next is a this was a supergroup that formed in the early 80s, and I'm pretty sure when this supergroup came out, everyone was excited. You know, it consisted of Paul Rogers, The Bad Company, Jimmy Page, of Led Zeppelin, and also Chris Slade, who was the drummer for AC/DC, In and Out. Talking about The Firm. And I guess I didn't like it as much because it's not what I expected from these guys. The songs on here, Closer. The Radioactive was the single release on this album, and it was just okay. Satisfaction Guaranteed was the song that I liked the most. And that's about it for me, and I was very disappointed. The next album that I have is this band here. This was one of the biggest selling albums of all time, and rightfully so. It's a fantastic album. I'm talking about Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. It's a pretty good album. Not pretty good, sorry. It's a fantastic album. It's not one of my top 10 or top 20. It's not. I know that for a lot of people it is, but for me, it's not. But it's good. It's fantastic. It's got Secondhand News, Dreams, Never Coming Back, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, and The Chain, You Make Loving Fun, and Gold Dust Woman. And I've never seen Fleetwood Mac in concert, but I have seen Lindsey Buckingham, which is the guitar player and lead vocals on most of the songs on here. I saw him in a little club here in Houston called Fitzgerald's, which is no longer there at all. There's that. And I keep on forgetting to mention about the bands that I've seen in concert, because I've been to a lot of concerts. To go back to the Eagles, I saw the Eagles in 1994 with a Hell Freezes Over tour. I went with a buddy of mine I used to work with back in Corpus Christi. We drove to San Antonio and saw them at the Alamo Dome. And it was a fantastic show, and I really enjoyed it. And I really need to remember to tell you all about these shows. And this double album by Fleetwood Mac came after Rumors, and of course it was going to be hard to top Rumors. So when they were making Rumors, the couples were breaking up. Everybody knows that. Lindsay and Stevie were breaking up, and not just that, but Christine McVie and John McVie, they were actually married, and they were going through a divorce. Well, what better way to get over that than to record a double album, right? And at this time, nobody was even speaking to each other at all. I mean, they told each other, we're professionals. The band is bigger than anything, and they kept going. And this is a double album, and the songs are, there's a lot of good songs on this album. Let's go with Over and Over, Sarah, What Makes You Think You're the One, Storms, Sisters of the Moon was good. Side 3 to me was my favorite, which is Angel was good, That's Enough for Me, and I Know I'm Not Wrong. And side 4, just Tusk. Tusk is a good song. Not too great. It's more of the drum beat done by the USC marching band that is catchy on the song. And next we have John Fogerty, Centerfield. This was his first solo release after the whole big mess with CCR and suing and so much ugly stuff that happened. And the great songs there's some great songs on here. The Old Man Down the Road, Rock and Roll Girls. I Saw It on TV. Mr. Greed, which talks about everything that I just mentioned with CCR, and talking about the owner. I think it was the owner of Fantasy Records at the time. And side 2, Centerfield, which is the big hit off this album, Centerfield, and Zans Can't Dance. It's a good song. Next, I've got a greatest hits by the Four Seasons. The songs on here, if you like the Four Seasons, you'll know what songs are on here. I will go through them. Sherry, Walk Like a Man, Stay, Big Girls Don't Cry. I mean, not just big songs, but famous songs. And that's about it. But yeah, this is pretty good to listen to. And next, this will be the first time that I feature an album like this. Foo Fighters, One by One. There's the inside of it with the guys. And what is unique about this is that this is a double 10-inch record, which you can tell it's smaller than a regular record. There's 2 of these because they needed 2 to fit everything on here. And the songs on this album, let's go with All My Life. All My Life I've been searching for something never leads to nothing. And maybe that's why I'm not a singer of a band, right? And also Low, Times Like These, Tired of You, Halo, and Burn Away. Burn Away and Come Back, which are on side D, which is how they do it here on this album. Those are some long songs for Foo Fighters. Kind of so long. And next I have Foo Fighters Greatest Hits. This is a double album. Let me open it up for you guys. It is a double album. There's the guys. And this has if you're a Foo Fighter fan, you know what songs are going to be on here. All My Life, Best of You, Everlong, and The Pretender. My Hero, Learn to Fly, Times Like These, and Monkey Wrench. I love Monkey Wrench. I've got their other stuff on CD. Big Me, Breakout. That is off of my favorite album by them, which is their third album, Nothing to Lose. That album came out, I believe, in '99. And it was very special to me because I just moved here to Houston, and I would play that constantly. And this also has the acoustic version of Everlong. And so we go to the next band, Foreigner. This is their debut album. Foreigner was one of those bands in the late 70s that just took over radio. That just took over it. Feels like the first time. That's a great rocker. Cold as Ice. The Damage is Done. Long, long way from home. I like that song. And those are the songs that stick out to me on that album. The next we have is Double Vision. There's the guys in the front. There's the back. Looks like the same picture. Hot-blooded, check and see. I got a fever of 103. Blue Morning, Blue Day. Double Vision, which is a great song. It's a good slow cooker. Close my eyes. It's got double vision. And next we have Head Games by Foreigner. And there's the guys right there. And this says Dirty White Boy, Dirty White Boy. And Head Games. That's about it on this album. I'm kind of surprised. And there's the inside of it. And Foreigner 4, this was their big hit for them. Foreigner 4. And if you want to get their greatest hits, their best greatest hits to get is the one released right after this. It's called Records. And it has all the big hits. I've got on cassette right here next to me. That's where all my cassettes are over there. The songs on here are going to be Urgent. That's a great song. Urgent. Girl on the Moon. Waiting for a Girl Like You. Jukebox Hero. And Nightlife. But I love Jukebox Hero. That's a great song. And this is my only Peter Frampton album. And it's not the one you guys think it is. It's called I'm In You. And that's Peter Frampton. I heard this album. There's the back of it. And it was just okay. There's a song on here. What's interesting about this is that there's a song on here that he does like a duet with Stevie Wonder, but it's not that great. And there was nothing on this album that really... Oh, and in fact, they do Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours together, which is a Stevie Wonder classic. And nothing really here for me to talk about and go into depth about. Well, that concludes my letters E through F. I hope that you really enjoyed it, and I hope that you will join us for my next episode where we will tackle the letter G. And the letter G will consist of Genesis, quite a bit of Genesis, where I was debating if I was going to make a whole episode of Genesis, but I don't think I have to. I think I can squeeze it all in together. It's going to have Genesis, Jay Giles Band, Guns N' Roses, and a couple of surprises hidden in between. So I hope that you join us. Good night, folks, and please take care of yourselves. And remember to keep on rocking until I see you next time.